One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. The headlines. President Hichilema calls for improved cooperation between Turkey and Zambia. Girl-child absenteeism during ongoing grade 12 examinations worry Kasama DC. Government procures earth-moving equipment for Mufumbwe Council. Plus, Chalimbana student launches Epilepsy awareness campaign. To present the news in detail, my name is Trust Pemba. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for increased cooperation between Turkey and Zambia. President Hichilema says there is need to explore public-private partnerships involving the two countries in various sectors. Speaking at State House when visiting Turkey Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ahmet Yildiz, paid a courtesy call on him. The head of state said Zambia wants to benefit from Turkey's experience in infrastructure, development, and technological advancement. And Mr. Yildiz, on behalf of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, invited President Hichilema for a state visit to the country. He also said the increased Turkish Airlines trips between the two countries will boost tourism and investment. Meanwhile, President Hichilema also met Turkey company Suma chairperson Salim Bora, which wants to explore opportunities in the tourism sector.
Of course, peace, security, stability is very important, as we have said before, but for this, in return, our focus is to push, to drive the economic and social development of our country to better the lives of our people. So we would like to see more cooperation between our two countries, government to government, between our businesses, business to business, and also the area of public-private partnerships that I think Turkey has advanced in that area, plus technological advancements in that area. We do know that you do build, you do manage different things, the railways included, roads in there, but also other infrastructure.
I came here by Turkish Airlines. I am so happy to see that they are flying between Istanbul and Lusaka. Hopefully, we will encourage them to increase the flights because there is a real demand from Turkish people and vice versa from Zambian people to travel between the two countries for tourism and economic relations. Mr. President, I heard from our ambassador about your enthusiasm, aspirations, and your projects about your country to improve, to develop your country. As a former politician, I really appreciate that.
In Central Province, Provincial Minister Princess Kasuni has appealed to visiting Swedish members of parliament to consider helping the government build health facilities in new and underserviced districts in our province. Ms. Kasuni said this when she met 6 visiting members of parliament from Sweden. More in this report.
Sweden is Zambia's 3rd largest bilateral donor. The Swedish government has helped the country improve access to health care, promote climate resilience, and respect for human rights and gender equality. Some members of parliament from Sweden have visited Zambia to appreciate the country's performance with regard to the fight against gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health rights, and maternal and child health. The Swedish members of parliament met Central Province Minister Princess Kasuni in Kapirimposhi District.
So this visit has been almost a bit overwhelming. I think we have seen so many important work being done here, and it's fantastic to see how limited resources have been put together to make such a difference.
Swedish Deputy High Commissioner to Zambia, Susanna Hags, was part of the delegation.
One challenge that we have heard a lot about and experienced is the commodity chains and the work of SAMSA.
Parliamentarians to consider helping Central Province build health facilities in new and under-serviced districts.
You can adopt constituencies such as Kapirimpochi, Dr. Abel, I think you agree, even other constituencies. We have Ngawe, for example, another constituency that is in dire need of a health facility. Out of 167 members of parliament, there are only 15%. So we are still struggling, and the president recognizes this.
Hlupekile Nkunika for Zanis in Kapirimpochi District.
Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kanga, has called on public servants to inculcate the spirit of integrity while executing their duties. Mr. Kanga said the main challenge of the Zambian public service is lack of integrity among public servants. Mr. Kanga explained that there are many temptations in the civil service that come in many forms such as personal benefits and sympathy, adding that when integrity is applied, all temptations can be handled. Zanis reports that the Secretary to the Cabinet said this during a 2-day induction of newly appointed ministers and permanent secretaries held in Lusaka. Mr. Kanga also urged senior civil servants to apply loyalty, adding that they are not in the service for their personal interest, but to serve the Zambian people diligently. He said values are at the core of the public service, saying when fully implemented, the goals would be achieved.
Teaching is important and should be treated with the seriousness it deserves. You have been appointed from various backgrounds, and your diverse experience, knowledge, and skills shall surely enrich the administration of the institutions in which you serve and the public service as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, for you to make an effective contribution to the public service, there are matters that you must first understand. These matters include your role in your institution, your relationship with other officers, such as myself, your fellow ministers, permanent secretaries, and others in your institution, and the laws and regulations that govern your institution and the services it provides. It is in recognition of these matters that this induction workshop has been organized. I would like to thank the management from the National School of Government and Cabinet Office that are coordinating this induction. I have had a look at the agenda and this induction and the facilitators that have been lined up to deliver the various topics that shall be covered over the next 2 days. And I am satisfied that after this meeting, you will be adequately prepared to play your roles effectively in the public service. Ladies and gentlemen, as a start to your induction, allow me to share a few thoughts. For me, values are at the core of the public service, and when fully implemented, we are sure to achieve our goals. Not so long ago, you stood in front of the Republican President with a Bible in your hand and swore loyalty to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, and that in your discharge of your duties, you will adhere to the Constitution. It is therefore important to keep in mind that the President was granted a huge mandate by the Zambian people. For this reason, as you execute your duties, bear in mind that you are not here to achieve your interests or those of any interest group, but to help the appointing authority to achieve the vision and mission that the people of Zambia entrusted to him in line with the Constitution.
Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Elias Movanga, says government is committed to foster the development of small and medium enterprises in the country in order to enhance job creation. Mr. Movanga was speaking when he graced the official handover of 10 motor vehicles to provincial SMEs officers to enable them monitor the development of SMEs in the respective provinces. More in this report.
Provincial officers under the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise have received brand new vehicles that will ease their mobility in monitoring developmental projects in their respective provinces. Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Elias Mubanga, who graced the official handover of the vehicles to the officers, says his ministry remains mandated to foster development of small and medium enterprises in the country.
You are in the provinces to promote businesses in any sector. I'm saying any sector. It could be in tourism, it could be in energy, manufacturing, agriculture, which must be emphasized now as you take these vehicles.
Further, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Permanent Secretary Seveta Mutelo has urged the provincial officers to put to good use the vehicles they have received.
I wish to remind you that the motor vehicles you will receive today should be used for the intended purpose, as it has been observed that you could not adequately perform some of your duties due to lack of transport.
Copperbelt Province Cooperatives and Entrepreneurship Development Officer Denny Maluti spoke on behalf of other recipients.
We will not keep them at the province idle, but we will do the backstopping and also assist those officers that have areas which they cannot reach. Will be using these vehicles all over before the coming in of the assured motorbikes.
Loveness P reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma is concerned at the occurrences of absenteeism of the girl child during the ongoing grade 12 examinations in the district. Ms. Goma said it is sad that the girl child is missing examinations in the preferences for child marriages, which only limits our opportunities in life. The district commissioner made the remarks when she led a team to conduct monitoring of the ongoing grade 12 examinations. Details in the following report.
As the 2023 Grade 12 internal examination commences, government and other stakeholders are working hard to ensure the examinations are held successfully. Kasama District Commissioner and the District Education Board Secretary have visited selected schools in the district to monitor how the examination, which commenced on Monday 6th November, are progressing. The District Education Board Secretary, James Chibuye, emphasized the need for teachers and learners in examination classes to strictly adhere to the established examination guidelines.
I've noticed a few boys especially, and maybe one or two girls, I think even when they are writing exams, they are still our pupils. Let them adhere to the dressing code. Pupils should not just come with tattered clothes just because they are writing exams. Insist that they dress properly. Actually, it also helps them to look organized.
Meanwhile, the District Commissioner, Elizabeth Goma, who is also the District Examination Chairperson, expressed concern on the girl learners that have missed exams.
All the 4 schools that we visited, 4 girls are not writing their grade 12 examinations due to the fact that they chose to get married. It's a sad story. I'm told the teachers went to plead with the parents, but they couldn't just come back to write the examinations.
Msonda Chitupi, the Zambia National Union of Teachers, ZANUT Provincial Organizing Secretary, was also part of the team.
Our members who are teachers, at least they are abiding to the regulations and the standards that are commanded by ECZ, and we are happy as a labor movement. One thing just to urge them that they should continue to abide to the regulations.
Taonga Nkoma reporting for Zanis in Kasama District.
In Lusaka Province Minister Shomuliata says government has prioritized infrastructure development in education sector in order to strengthen communities and ultimately empower children through education. Ms. Muliata said this when she commissioned a 1x3 classroom block at Chamulimba Primary School in Rufunsa, which is fully furnished with 75 desks and 3 DAPO VIP toilets financed under the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, CDF. More in this report.
Rufumsa district of Lusaka province is among the many districts in the country that have continued to receive vast educational infrastructure development through the Expanded Constituency Development Fund (CDF). For the Chamulimba community, it is yet another momentous occasion to witness the commissioning of a 1x3 classroom block at Chamulimba Primary School.
It's not like a dream. We see what you are doing. Action is better than words. I thank you. I congratulate you.
Lusaka Province Minister Sheo Muleta, who is also a Rufumsa Member of Parliament, commissioned the 1x3 classroom block, which is fully furnished with new desks.
We had promised the people that when we get into government, we will provide for free education. We will bring with free education desks. We will make sure that the schools have got water. A lot of promises that we had made are being done today, as you can see for yourself.
Meanwhile, Rufumsa District Educational Board Secretary Teddy Chiwe is thankful to government for prioritizing education infrastructure development in his district.
We have witnessed the recruitment of teachers. But what are those teachers for if we do not have the classrooms where they should teach from? Because we've got our learners in big numbers here.
And the recipients of the development had this to say.
It will provide a conducive environment for learning.
Loveness P reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Government has flagged off the distribution of over 3,000 desks in Mpika District in Mchinga Province. Mpika District Commissioner David Siame flagged off the distribution of desks procured at a cost of 4.5 million kwacha using the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). Government, through the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) in Mufumbwe District, has procured 3 moving equipment at the cost of 2.3 million kwacha. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu graced the commissioning ceremony with a directive to Mufumbwe Town Council to take care of the equipment. We have more in this report.
Government, through the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) in Mufumbwe District, has procured 3 earth-moving equipment at the total cost of 2.3 million kwacha. The front-end loader, tipper truck, and grader have been procured with the intention to work on the roads within the district, whose state has been described as deplorable by most of the local people. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu was in the district to commission the 3 machines, together with a light truck procured under the Equalization Fund.
Hakainde Hichilema and his people who voted for him as a team have delivered the earth-moving machine. Now, it's up to you to take care of these properties. Mufumbwe Town Council, make sure that you give those who be using those machines, give them to people who are conversant with the machines.
Mufumbwe District Commissioner Elijah Munyompe calls for teamwork in utilization of the equipment, as the area member of Parliament Elliot Kamondo pledges not to leave any of the 18 wards behind.
Let us all work together as a team so that we benefit from this equipment.
Those earth-moving equipment, sir, we are going to utilize them very well because we need them like yesterday. And I can assure you all the wards are going to benefit from that.
Meanwhile, Kabipopo Ward Councillor Rachel Kayoya is among the excited civic leaders who's confident that Kalengwa Kabipopo Road will be worked on just like many other roads in Mufumbwe.
I'm grateful to the government for procuring the machines. As I know, when they work Kalengwa to Kabipopo roads, as I'm speaking right now as the area councillor for Kabipopo Ward, the road is bad. No one can like it. When they work on it from Kalengwa to Kabipopo, my people, they are going to rejoice and to celebrate. They are going to benefit.
John Mohanga reporting for Zanis Mufumbwe District in Northwestern Province.
The Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development has today launched working documents aimed at ensuring effective delivery of service to the public. The document launched includes the 2022-2026 Ministerial Strategic Plan, the Service Charter, and the Gift and Benefits Policy. Speaking at the launch, Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, says the strategic plan is in line with the 8th National Development Plan. Mr. Milupi also explained that the Service Delivery Charter and Gifts and Benefits Policy is also aimed at providing guidance to employees on the handling of gifts and benefits. He further explained that for the vision to be achieved, there is need to ensure effective stakeholder engagement and coordination, adding that the government is committed to better the future of citizens where infrastructure is concerned. In agriculture news, Zaninaka District has received all the fertilizer and seed for the targeted 15,000 beneficiaries under the Farmer Input Support Program. Zaninaka District Commissioner Geoffrey Jacopo has commended suppliers that were contracted to supply farming inputs for 2023-2024 farming season for the timely delivery.
With the onset of 2023-2024 farming season, Zaninaka District has received the allocated farming inputs, basal fertilizer, top dressing fertilizer, and the seeds in readiness for the season.
The government, under the able leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, is doing its best. The inputs have arrived at a right time. And we are blessed in Zaninaka. The rains have started on time, like in the 70s, when we used to have rains before Independence Day.
We have 1,500 beneficiaries, and 90% of the inputs are in, as we have verified. All the beneficiaries, 1,500, will get maize. Half of the beneficiaries will get sorghum. A quarter of the beneficiaries will get cowpeas, and a quarter will get groundnuts. And we are now ready to start distributing the inputs.
The early arrival of farming inputs for 2023-2024 farming season under FISIP has praised the district commissioner, who has called on the beneficiaries not to sell the inputs.
Fertilizer is not for sale. Seeds are not for sale. Anyone who will be caught will dance to their tune.
United Capital Fertilizer, UCF, and Alpha Commodity are the suppliers of fertilizer to the district. Brandina Lambwe, Zanis, Zaninaka District, Southern Province.
And in Northwestern Province, poultry farmers in Kalumbila District of Northwestern Province have bemoaned the lack of market for their products. Some farmers have appealed to the government and the private sector to come to their aid. Details in this report.
76-year-old Lydia Katontoka, a widow, is among many poultry farmers in Kalumbila District appealing for help in terms of market linkage for her chickens.
Ngecha kwambamba twaikara na market ya kuva vukiji vanzoro wiva twarako kyakosha kukwashako nge kwa mweka vakwitu kwasha nangwa vyoto dzina maini vetu kwasha nangwa kafumende itu kwasha kwa kuvamba nge vanzoro vakoma vukiji vave vasenda pakimyekimu.
Other farmers had this to share.
Keve tupotekote vakunonya kana vafumia pi vanzoro bati vadza vanzoro momaini ponokove vatana kana pi so tunakeve tupotenga konetepo kwamba vetusunturenga kopeuru vyove nga wasunga 1 week 2 weeks wapwisha usakura utana muka profit sakukatana munishi vakusuntura pano ne kana vatwara pi mari vamaini instead vakwashetewa vakuto kwavo varongo vavo.
One is that if you go to Kalumbila, they have a segregative boundary, which they say, like as we are here in Manyama, Romana, they are saying we are outside the catchment area.
Meanwhile, advocates for farmer support are on the ground to see to it that farmers are aided.
We have identified that our farmers in Kalumbila are having a problem with the market for broiler chickens. We have a lot of farmers. We have a database of about 180 farmers in Kalumbila District. Kalumbila has already an abattoir. It's far, 50 kilometers from Manyama. So that distance, carrying live chickens, all that distance, there will be a lot of fatalities. So we've discovered that the district is vast. We need another abattoir here near the mines.
My appeal to the mines is that we have not failed to supply the chickens that you need. All we are asking for is an intent letter. Help us to get that intent letter. That will help us build the abattoir, also buy the cod room.
Shilika Chabalingula, Zanis, Kalumbila, Northwestern Province.
Pemba District Commissioner Obey Havenzu has warned farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program against violating the program guidelines and which could compromise the purpose for which the program was designed. Speaking when he flagged off the distribution of FISIP inputs to 9,400 targeted beneficiaries, Mr. Avenzu advised the farmers not to sell or share, as those found doing so risk being blacklisted from the program.
It is a joyous day for farmers in Pemba District as they have received their farming inputs in time. This is the first time in history that government has distributed inputs to farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP before the onset of the rain season. This development guarantees improved yields for household food security.
Looking at where we are today and where we are going, I think we are on time because it hasn't rained yet. And as we await for the rainfall to come, all the farmers will have their inputs in the house. And this actually is a signal that should the rain season move properly, there will be a bumper harvest at the end of the season.
Pemba District Commissioner Obey Havenzu has flagged off the FISIP distribution with a warning to farmers against abrogating the FISIP guidelines.
There are some laid down guidelines under FISP, which you are all expected to follow as farmers. It is 1 pack per household. Once you abrogate these rules, a penalty might mean that you be blacklisted from any government-supported program where you benefit as farmers.
For the District Agriculture Coordinator, Robert Tembo, the distribution exercise is expected to be completed by mid-November.
As a district, we have 9,400 small-scale farmers, and to date, we have received all the inputs that are needed for the pack, meaning in 2 weeks' time, we'll be done with the distribution.
Under the Farmer Input Support Program, each farmer is receiving 3 bags of basal fertilizer, 3 bags of urea, and 10 kg maize seed and legumes. Chintu Nangamba, Zanis in Pemba, Southern Province.
In Muchinga Province, the Civil Servants and Allied Workers Union of Zambia, CISAOS, has commended the government for the progress made in the implementation of devolution agenda. CISAOS Deputy General Secretary for Administration and Organization, Terry Muyenga, says the labor movement is impressed with the positive implementation of the devolution agenda, which will allow workers to be promoted and confirmed at the local level. Mr. Muyenga was speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Muchinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary's Matthew Chilekwa at his office in Chinsali. Henry Lumpa filed in this report.
Since the announcement of the actualization of the devolution agenda by government in order to devolve some government functions at local level, some labor movements in the country have been in support of this development. The Civil Servants and Allied Workers Union of Zambia, SAOZI, is one of the unions that commended government for the progress made in the actualization of the devolution process. SAOZI Deputy General Secretary for Administration and Organization, Terry Muyenga, disclosed this when he paid a courtesy call on Muchinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Matthew Chilekwa at his office in Chinsali District.
The first devolution is the transferring of functions to the local authority, where a good number of our workers, our members, functions will be moved to the local authority. I want to indicate here that with us as a labor movement, this is a welcome move. We've done all the groundwork with government in enhanced social dialogue, and we want to implore and thank government for that gesture.
And Reverend Chilekwa made an assurance of working with the labor movement in supporting government policies.
Help them out
to be also disciplined officers, just as you said, so that they cannot be finding themselves in conflict with the regulations that the Public Service Management Division is bringing forth.
The Sauzi Deputy General Secretary later interacted with workers to sensitize them on the revised disciplinary code. Henry Lompo Jr., Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
In other news, a 20-year-old Chalimbana University student has launched the first ever epilepsy awareness campaign at the university aimed at raising awareness among students and the community on the neurological disorder. Soko Sakeni, an epilepsy patient himself, says the misconceptions, myths, and stigma surrounding the disorder have contributed to people hiding their sicknesses and not seeking proper medication. We have more in this.
Stigma, myths, and misconceptions have surrounded the sickness of epilepsy, which comes as a result of disturbance to the nerve cell activity in the brain causing seizures. Choso Sakeni, a 20-year-old fourth-year student of agriculture science at Chalimbana University, has bravely fought epilepsy for 5 years, and this led him to raise awareness with the support of his family on this neurological disorder by launching the first ever epilepsy awareness campaign at the university.
I'm one person who has epilepsy, and I have I've witnessed the stigma that goes around, and I wouldn't want to go through what I went through, because it's something that is that can let somebody shut themselves out in so many different ways. Others might even go to the extent of suicide. There's so much word going around, wrong information, so to say, because other people mistake it for certain diseases. And I think just basically not in this institution, I think even in our country, as Zambians, there's few information about epilepsy.
Choso, a twin brother to Katebe and a sibling to 2 other children, has a strong support system, with 2 of his older siblings abandoning their studies in various institutions to join him in his class of agriculture science.
I've seen him improve from when he was when it all started, and there's a huge difference now.
I would tell parents out there that we shouldn't keep our children and daughters or sons in homes to deprive them from education because of the condition that they have. All they need is our support, and once we support them, they will thrive in life.
Minister of Information and Publicity and Minister of Health and Disabilities, Chalimbana University Students' Union Council, have supported Choso's epilepsy awareness campaign initiative.
We are going to use a number of platforms so that we intend to sensitize. We give it up to all students.
I want this campaign to reach in other places where people actually are facing this challenge of epilepsy.
A moment of silence was observed for the souls that succumbed to epilepsy, followed by the lighting of candles as a symbol of hope towards raising epilepsy awareness. Nigelo Mwemba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
As we end the news, we take a look at the headlines again. President Hichilema calls for improved cooperation between Turkey and Zambia. Girl child absenteeism during ongoing grade 12 examinations worry Kasama DC. Government procures earth-moving equipment for Mufumbwe Council. Plus, Chalimbana student launches epilepsy awareness campaign. Well, this is where we end our news for today. On behalf of Zanis' entire production team, have been your presenter, Trust Pemba. For now, it's goodbye.